Permission to live fully. Again, Sarah came to me 3 months after losing her golden retriever, Max. She was stuck in what I call grief prison. She told me, "I had a good day yesterday. For 2 whole hours, I didn't think about Max. But then I felt horrible, like I was betraying him, like moving on meant I didn't love him enough." Breaking free from grief prison. Sarah had created a prison in her own mind. The bars, the belief that healing meant forgetting, that joy was betrayal, that moving forward dishonored Max's memory. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone, and you're definitely not betraying your beloved pet by wanting to feel better. Today, we're talking about something crucial: permission to live fully again. Healing doesn't mean forgetting. Let's start with the biggest lie grief tells us, that if we heal, we'll forget them. This is simply not true. Think about other people you've loved and lost. Your grandmother, a childhood friend, maybe a parent. Did healing from their loss mean you forgot them? Of course not. Love doesn't have an expiration date. Memory doesn't disappear just because pain lessens. Here's what actually happens when you heal. The sharp edges of grief soften. The overwhelming waves become gentle ripples. But the love, the memories, they become treasures instead of torture. Love remains. Healing doesn't erase love. It transforms how we carry it. Memories evolve. Painful memories gradually become cherished treasures. Pain softens. The sharp edges of grief become gentler with time and healing, honoring through joy. Your pet doesn't need your pain to prove your love. They never did. In fact, staying trapped in grief is like keeping a beautiful photograph locked in a dark drawer. You're not honoring the photo by keeping it hidden. You honor it by bringing it into the light where you can see its beauty. The same is true with your pet's memory. Healing allows you to remember them with joy instead of devastation, to share stories that make you smile instead of sob. That's not betrayal. That's the highest honor you can give them. Your pet wants you happy. Let me ask you something. When your pet was alive, what did they want most? They wanted you happy. They wanted to see you smile. They lived for the moments when you laughed, when you played, when you were fully present with joy. Did your pet ever try to cheer you up when you were sad? Did they nudge you with their nose, bring you their favorite toy, or just sit close when you needed comfort? Of course they did, because they loved you. And when you love someone, you want them to be happy, their greatest gift. So ask yourself this: if your pet could speak to you right now, would they say, "Stay miserable forever to prove you loved me"? Or would they say, "I want you to be happy again. I want you to laugh. I want you to live fully"? That's how I know my love mattered. You know the answer. Your pet's greatest gift to you was unconditional love. Part of accepting that gift is allowing yourself to be happy again. This isn't about getting over your pet. It's about carrying their love forward in a way that enriches your life instead of destroying it. Grief and love can coexist with peace. Here's something beautiful about grief that no one talks about. You don't have to choose between loving them and being at peace. Many people think healing means the grief goes away completely, but that's not how it works. And honestly, would you want it to? Healthy grief looks different. It's gentle. It visits instead of moving in permanently. It reminds you of love instead of torturing you with loss. Think of it like this. Right now, your grief might be like a storm. Loud, chaotic, overwhelming. It takes over everything. Healed grief is like rain. It comes and goes. Sometimes it's heavy, sometimes it's light, but it nourishes instead of destroying. Peaceful coexistence. You might always feel a tender spot in your heart when you think of your pet. That's not a problem to solve. That's love. That's the continuing bond between you. The goal isn't to stop missing them. The goal is to miss them without being crushed by it, to remember them without being paralyzed by it. This is what I call peaceful coexistence. Your love remains. Your memories remain. But suffering releases its grip. You can hold space for missing them and feeling joy about other things. You can honor their memory and create new experiences. You can love them forever and live fully now. These aren't contradictions. They're the natural evolution of love after loss. Overwhelming grief, pain that consumes everything. Healing process, gradual transformation of pain, peaceful coexistence, love and joy living alongside gentle grief. The continuing bonds philosophy. There's a concept in grief counseling called continuing bonds. It's the understanding that death doesn't end relationships. It transforms them. You don't let go of your pet. You don't move on from them. Instead, you learn to carry them with you in a new way. Maybe you still talk to them. Maybe you feel their presence during quiet moments. Maybe you catch yourself buying their favorite treats at the store. These aren't signs that you're not healing. These are signs that love continues. The relationship doesn't end with death. It just changes form. Before, your relationship was physical. Now it's spiritual. Before, they were beside you. Now they're within you. Deepening connection through healing. This is why healing doesn't threaten your connection. It actually deepens it. Because when you're not drowning in grief, you have more space to feel their love, to sense their presence, to honor what they meant to you. Many of my students tell me that after completing their grief work, they feel closer to their pets, not further away. They can feel their pets' love without being overwhelmed by their own pain. That's the magic of the continuing bond. Love doesn't die with the body. It lives on in your heart, in your memories, in the way they changed you forever. Love continues. The bond transforms but never breaks. Memories evolve from painful to precious. Spiritual connection, feeling their presence in new ways. Inner peace, finding calm while honoring their memory. Permission statements. Let's end with some truth you need to hear. I want you to really listen to these permission statements. You have permission to smile again without guilt. You have permission to go a day without crying. You have permission to enjoy things that have nothing to do with your pet. You have permission to feel excited about the future. You have permission to love again, whether that's another pet or just loving life itself. You have permission to put away some of their belongings when you're ready. You have permission to stop talking about them every day. You have permission to have good days, really good days. You have permission to heal at your own pace, in your own way. And most importantly, you have permission to live fully again. Not because you love them less, but because you love them so well. Summary: today we talked about giving yourself permission to live fully again. We covered how healing doesn't mean forgetting, how your pet wants you happy, how grief and love can coexist peacefully, the continuing bonds philosophy, and those crucial permission statements. The fear of betraying their memory by healing is one of the biggest barriers to recovery. But now you understand the truth. Healing is honoring their memory. Joy is a tribute to their love. In our next lesson, we'll talk about considering future pets and expanding love. We'll address the complex feelings around whether, when, and how to open your heart to another animal companion. But for now, I want you to sit with today's message. Your pet loved you unconditionally. Part of accepting that love is allowing yourself to be happy again. Healing is not forgetting. Love and memories remain even as pain lessens. Your pet wants your happiness. Their love for you means they want you to live joyfully. Peaceful coexistence. Grief and joy can live side by side. Continuing bonds. Death transforms relationships rather than ending them. Permission to heal. You deserve to live fully while keeping their memory alive. Action step. Here's your action step for today. Write yourself a permission slip. Literally, take out a piece of paper and write, "I give myself permission to live fully again while keeping pet's name in my heart forever." Sign it, date it, put it somewhere you'll see it. And when guilt tries to creep in, when you catch yourself having a good day and feeling bad about it, read your permission slip out loud. Remember, they loved you. They want you happy. Healing honors that love. See you in the next lesson.